The Young and the Restless. Spoilers. Thurrdays full update. The 13th of August, 2026. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today is a fantastic Thursday, and I hope you're all having a great week so far. Grab a coffee or maybe something stronger, because we really need to dive deep into the absolute madness that just went down in Genoa City. Let's get right into it. I cannot believe they did that. I mean, I can, because we are talking about Billy Abbott here, but seriously, my jaw is still on the floor after watching this latest episode. I am typing this up so late at night because I am just buzzing with frustration, and I need to vent to people who actually get it. Am I the only one who is completely losing their mind over Billy's absolute delusion? Let's just jump right into this, because the sheer audacity of this man is actually making my blood pressure spike. React first, explain later, right? So Billy is actually running around town bragging. He literally sprinted over to Jack and Kyle to boast about his brilliant business acumen. And what is this genius masterclass in corporate warfare that he is so proud of? He threw Sally Spectra completely under the bus. The woman he has been claiming to love, the woman he was just comforting over a potential pregnancy and talking about building a future with. He betrayed her deepest secret to Victor Newman just to make Adam look bad. And he thinks this makes him the Wolf of Wall Street. I know some people are loving this messy, chaotic Billy, but personally, I am so sick of this cycle. I have been watching this show for years, and this is exactly what Billy always does. Remember when he tried to take down Victor with the whole Restless style magazine fiasco? Remember the gambling debts? Remember when he literally gambled away a yacht? Yeah, didn't work then either. But here he is, standing in the Abbott mansion, puffing out his chest and telling Jack and Kyle that he has orchestrated the ultimate takedown of Victor Newman. And let's just talk about the collateral damage for a second. Billy does not care who he hurts, as long as he gets to feel like the smartest guy in the room. He manipulated Sally, knowing full well that Victor's wrath is going to come down on her like a ton of bricks. Sally just sold Newman Media to Adam on the strict condition that Victor never finds out, because she is terrified of the mustache. And Billy just waltzes in and blows the whole thing up because of his petty, obsessive jealousy of Adam. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about Chelsea for a second. Billy claims to care about Chelsea, right? They have history, they share a child, but if Chelsea gets hurt in the crossfire of this massive corporate explosion he just triggered between Adam, Victor, and Sally, oh well, to Billy, that is just acceptable collateral damage. He feels so incredibly proud of himself. He thinks he is a mastermind. He actually believes that by exposing Adam's secret deal with Sally, he is going to bring Victor to his knees. Like, how does that even make sense? How does exposing Adam's rogue acquisition of Newman Media take down Victor? If anything, it just pisses Victor off and puts a giant target on Billy's own back. But Billy is so generous, right? He is so magnanimous in his delusional victory that he invites Jack and Kyle to get in on the ground floor of his plan. He tells them they can reap the rewards of his genius as long as they never forget that he was the one who pulled it off. The ego on this man. And let's look at who he is pitching this to. Jack Abbott is currently hanging on by a thread. Jack was literally just kidnapped by Victor and almost died. He is dealing with Diane being severely traumatized by Dr. Lawrence Markham. He is is dealing with Patty Williams, trying to blackmail him into sleeping with her. Tracy is out there risking her life, trying to contact Martin Laurent. Jack's entire world is a horror movie right now, and Billy comes skipping in like a toddler who just built a Lego tower, demanding praise for a corporate scheme that is destined to fail. And Kyle? Don't even get me started on Kyle. Kyle is currently making secret, highly illegal pacts with Patty Williams in a prison cell to get his own revenge on Victor. Kyle is also currently engaging in a completely forbidden, highly taboo romance with Victoria Newman, the mother of his recent ex-girlfriend, Claire. Kyle is the absolute last person who needs to be getting involved in Billy's half-baked revenge plots. But Billy doesn't see any of that. Billy only sees Billy. Okay, back to the point. I need to take a deep breath because the other half of this episode actually broke my heart and then immediately made me want to throw my remote at the television. We have to talk about Nick Newman. I am sorry, but watching Nick hit absolute rock bottom is physically painful. I've been watching this show for a long time, and Nick has always been the golden boy. He has always been the moral compass, the one who tries to do the right thing, the one who protects his family. And now he is hiding out in a dingy, disgusting, peeling wallpaper motel room, completely out of his mind on drugs. And it gets worse. He isn't even just suffering alone. This random woman, Marrie Kirkland, who lives in the motel room next door, just knocks on his door, hears him crying and screaming from his fentanyl nightmares about Matt Clark, and instead of helping him, she asks if he wants to share his stash. And Nick says yes. He is sitting there, sharing drugs with a total stranger, letting his entire life go up in smoke. I mean, the psychology of it is just devastating. Nick is running from the trauma of Matt Clark. He is running from the nightmares of Cassie, of Sharon, of everything he has ever lost or failed to protect. He checked himself out of rehab against medical advice because the nightmares were too much. But seeing him surrender to it, seeing him just give up and get high with this Marrie woman, it is tragic. It is the darkest storyline they have given Nick in a decade. But here is the part that actually makes me want to scream. Here is the part that has me typing in all caps at 2 a.m. Victor and Nikki, are you kidding me with these two? We cut from Nick literally dying inside a cheap motel room to Victor and Nikki sitting in their luxurious living room, wringing their hands and talking about how worried they are. Oh, you're worried? You are worried? Victor Newman is supposed to be the most powerful, all-knowing, omnipotent man in the Midwest. This is the man who can track a burner phone in a moving car across state line. This is the man who found Patty Williams. This is the man who literally had Matt Clark kidnapped and held hostage on his own ranch. But he can't find his own son who's staying at a cheap motel right here in town. I know some people are loving the Victor romance right now. I know people are swooning over the fact that Victor apologized and Nikki got her sight back, and they are planning a vow renewal and a romantic trip to Venice. But personally, I find it absolutely repulsive right now. How can you plan a vow renewal when your son is missing and actively using fentanyl? Nikki is sitting there, sighing, saying she is so terribly concerned about Nicholas. Nikki, you are a recovering alcoholic. You have battled addiction for decades. You survived MS. You know exactly what happens when an addict leaves rehab early and goes off the grid. You should be turning Genoa City upside down. You should be on the local news. You should be hiring private investigators. You should be kicking down motel doors yourself. But no, they just sit there. Victor puffs out his chest, bragging about his power, bragging about how he controls everything, how he's going to handle Adam, how he's going to handle Billy, how he's going to handle Jack. But he does absolutely nothing to find Nick. He has a private security force that rivals the CIA, and he hasn't sent a single goon out to check the local motels. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense. It is a massive plot hole, or it is just proof that Victor's ego is so massive that he only cares about his children when they are useful to his corporate empire. When Nick is healthy and running Newman Enterprises, Victor is all over him. When Nick is a broken addict hiding in a motel, Victor just shakes his head and goes back to planning his Italian vacation with Nikki. It is infuriating. And let's predict what is going to happen here, because we all know how soap operas work. Billy's plan, it is going to implode spectacularly. I am dreading it, but I am also kind of here for it, because Billy needs to be humble. Victor's going to find out that Billy was the one stirring the pot, and Victor's going to crush Chancellor Industries. He is going to crush Billy. And Sally's the one who's going to pay the heaviest price, which is so unfair, because she has already lost so much, including baby Ava. And as for Nick, this Marrie situation is a ticking time bomb. We already know from the spoilers that things are going to go terribly wrong. Marrie is an addict too. What happens when one of them overdoses? What happens when the drugs run out? Nick is going to have to face the music. And I genuinely think he is going to have a near-death experience before he actually wakes up and realizes what he is doing. I just keep thinking about Sharon. Sharon is the only one who actually understands Nick's soul. While Victor and Nikki are picking out floral arrangements for their vow renewal, Sharon is probably out there actually losing sleep, actually terrified for the father of her children. If anyone is going to save Nick from that motel room, it is going to be Sharon, or maybe Adam, because despite everything, Adam actually knows what it is like to be in the gutter. Adam knows what it is like to hit rock bottom. Victor only knows how to look down from the penthouse. I am just so emotionally invested in this right now. I have been watching these characters make the same mistakes since 2015. And sometimes I want to reach through the screen and shake them. Billy, stop trying to be Victor. You will never be Victor. You are just going to ruin your relationship with Sally and get yourself fired. And Victor, stop pretending you are a god when you can't even save your own son. You can manipulate the stock market. You can blackmail politicians. You can frame Phyllis with AI, but you can't send a car to pick up Nick from a seedy motel. It is just so hypocritical. I don't know. Maybe I am just too worked up about this. But when you invest years into watching a family dynamic, seeing them write Victor as this negligent father while simultaneously portraying him as an all-seeing mastermind just grinds my gears. You can't have it both ways. He is either the puppet master who knows everything, or he is an out-of-touch old man who doesn't realize his son is dying a mile away. So what do you guys think? Am I totally off base here? Are you rooting for Billy's crazy scheme, or are you just waiting for the other shoe to drop? And please tell me someone else is as frustrated with Victor and Nikki as I am. Let me know in the comments, because I definitely need to talk this out with people who get it. I'm going to go try to get some sleep now, but I will be right back here tomorrow to see how much worse Billy can make things.